Welcome back to Race Report, everyone. You may have seen over the last couple of days we've had news trickling out from both Formula One and Lewis Hamilton's camp regarding Lewis Hamilton's willingness to commit to next season, and also Formula One's plans going forward after the aftermath of Abu Dhabi last season. So I kind of wanted to round everything up and get stuck in to what this all means in this video. Firstly, let's recap why we're having this conversation. It is because in Abu Dhabi, the final race of last season, Lewis Hamilton was leading the Grand Prix, and Michael Masi, the race director, took some creative liberties with the rulebook so that the race would not finish behind a safety car. It just so happened that these creative liberties that he took also resulted in Hamilton losing that race and losing the World Championship to Max Verstappen as a result. After that point, we've really not heard from Hamilton at all. He stayed off the internet, not doing social media, not doing anything, no press releases, nothing. He is letting the situation develop naturally. But we have heard from his team, Mercedes in particular, surrounding his feelings, basically saying he's disillusioned. He's really felt betrayed by the actions of the FIA, in particular Michael Masi, and is contemplating his retirement from the sport as a result. There is also a bigger picture issue, which the FIA has also admitted to, that the controversy was tarnishing the image of F1. And actually a lot of journalists, respected journalists in particular, say that the FIA still doesn't understand how big the controversy is and how badly it reflects on not only them, but also the sport in general. So from here on in, it's all about crisis management for the FIA. They have to win back trust of the people, us as fans, that they can legitimately put on a sporting event rather than some sort of Netflix show. And also, they need to get that trust back for Hamilton as well, otherwise he's not going to come back to the sport. Imagine that, a 7-time world champion, one of the best drivers ever in the sport, walking away because he doesn't feel like it's a legitimate sporting event anymore. That's pretty big. So the FIA needs to take substantive action to win back confidence. So what are they doing about that? So right now, they are going to lead an inquiry into the events and publish actions coming out of that inquiry. As of this week, we actually have dates about when we'll hear more from that inquiry. So from those dates, we know on January 19th, just a few days from now, the FIA Sporting Advisory Committee will meet with the F1 teams and FIA representatives to discuss the use of the safety car. So hopefully that is the point where we'll sort out all the rules. This is how the safety car must be used going forward to stop a repeat of what happened in Abu Dhabi. In the days after that, the discussion will be shared with all F1 drivers. Hopefully they'll be able to have some input into that discussion as well, rather than just a kind of FYI. However, that is not the point where we will learn of the decisions or the actions. The FIA has come out and said that they will not release the decisions, the final decisions, or the outcome publicly until the Bahrain Grand Prix on March 18th. So we have a long wait. So I think for Hamilton in particular, January 19th and the days after that will be critical for him. That is when he will learn what the FIA is going to do about the Abu Dhabi incident and going forwards. And if that brings enough confidence to him, he can then announce his intention to race for the 2022 season. However, if that isn't, then discussions need to happen pretty rapidly. The first pre-season test begins on February 23rd, and he needs to be in that car, or somebody else needs to be in that car, essentially. It will all need to be decided from his point of view by then. I think the actions Hamilton takes as well will also give us a good indication of what is coming, because we're not meant to find out till March 18th. But if we see Hamilton in the car at that first pre-season test, we know he's been appeased. We know probably Michael Masi's been fired, and a bunch of other stuff has, appeased him, and that there is a somewhat good result. However, if we see him walk away from the sport, then we know F1 might be in a bit of trouble. They haven't really sorted out any of the problems, from Hamilton's point of view, even though we won't find out officially for another month or so. And just another point on Michael Massey, obviously the race director for the previous season and the man in charge of the mistake that was made. It is widely understood that he will be sacked as a result of this, which I think is fair. After all, he is the man that made the decisions. He has to live with the consequences of his actions, and the sport is in a shaky state right now as a result of those actions. So ultimately, we're going to have to wait to see what happens on January 19th and the days following that. So fingers crossed we get some good results and we see some improvements in the sport and stop this from happening again. What do you guys think? Do you think the FIA is going to be able to do enough to keep Hamilton in the sport? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching that video. I really do appreciate the support. If you want to see more from me, I'm going to put a couple of extra videos on the left-hand side of the screen here for you. Just go ahead and click on one of those. On the right-hand side of the screen, I'm going to put a subscribe button. If you want to support me and support the channel, I very much appreciate it. Thank you.